Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the egg series. In part 1 we talked about how to shop for eggs, kind of like the white eggs versus brown eggs thing. And in this part I'm going to be talking about the best way or the optimal way that you guys can be consuming those eggs. In video 1 we did come to the conclusion that the organic free-range eggs that are not omega-3 enhanced are the optimal eggs that you could be buying. Watch video 1. If you guys also want to do some home tests, if you actually don't believe that information, want to test it out for yourselves, there's 2 easy tests you can do. Test 1 is you can buy 1 regular white egg and you can buy 1 organic free-range egg. Break them both open, drop them into a glass, and compare the 2. Look at the color in the 2 yolks. In the organic free-range egg, you're going to notice a nice, deep, dark orange color in that yolk, and it's actually going to be very strong and a lot of integrity to it. In the white egg, when you look at that yolk, I'm hoping it didn't break when you dropped it into the glass, because that's actually what happens a lot of times because it's so weak. You're going to look at the color of the yolk and you're going to notice it's like a sickly yellow looking color, not very pleasant, and like I said, a lot of times very weak, and it breaks as soon as you drop it into the glass. It's only about that high. Test 2, what you can do is you can buy an organic free-range chicken leg that's attached to the thigh, and then you can buy a conventionally or commercially raised chicken leg that's attached to the thigh, and try to separate the 2. Try to break the 2 apart. You can do it cooked or raw, whatever you want to do. And you'll notice one of them is a lot harder to break apart than the other. And after doing that test, a lot of times I have people ask themselves, which body do you want? Do you want the strong body with a lot of integrity to it, or do you want the weak one that you could probably even just drop on the ground and it'll separate? So now that we've talked about which eggs to be buying, let's get right into how we can, consume them to get the optimal, value from them. One thing a lot of people like to do is eat the whites only. And when you eat the whites only, you can actually create a biotin deficiency. And the reason a lot of people actually consume the whites only is because they've heard all the information out there how the cholesterol in the yolk is going to affect their cholesterol, give them heart disease, and kill them, which is very inaccurate. And how this biotin deficiency develops basically is there's a substance called avidin that's in the egg whites, and it very strongly binds on to the biotin, which is also known as vitamin B7 or vitamin H, and it makes it to where your body cannot absorb it, and therefore you have a deficiency. Some of the symptoms that come with a biotin deficiency are hair thinning or hair loss, brittle nails, lack of appetite. It affects growth, and also dermatitis. There's also some other ones that are not as common, but you can probably look those up if you'd like to. Another very common way that people like to prepare their eggs is scrambled. And even if you go sit at like a breakfast restaurant, you'll notice that 90% of the people in there get scrambled eggs. And this is the worst way you can consume your eggs, because it oxidizes the cholesterol that's in the yolk, and actually there's iron that's in the eggs also that furthers the oxidation process of the cholesterol in the yolks. And we really want to avoid this because our blood vessels, they don't have receptors for cholesterol, but they do have receptors for oxidized cholesterol. So you can eat as many raw eggs as you would like and it would not affect it at all, but it's as soon as you introduce it to heat, that's when you start to get some problems and stuff like that. So definitely don't scramble your eggs. It oxidizes the cholesterol, and people that already have cholesterol issues, that is when it can actually play a part. Also is when you heat things up, anything up for that matter, it affects its nutritional value. And in eggs there's 2 highly perishable nutrients called lutein and zeaxanthin that are destroyed when you cook the eggs. Lutein is an antioxidant that plays a crucial role in eye health. And antioxidants just play a huge part in our overall health anyways, because it helps prevent a lot of different cancers and heart disease as well. Because the antioxidants help to neutralize the oxidation of like the LDL cholesterol in the arteries. And the oxidation of LDL cholesterol is one of the biggest problems when we're talking about cholesterol and things that lead towards heart disease. So now that I've talked about a couple of the different ways not to consume your eggs, I'm going to get right into it. The way you guys need to be consuming your eggs is raw, the whole thing, the whites, the yolk, uncooked, Rocky style basically. And as Sean put it from Underground Wellness in one of his videos, God is not stupid. He did not throw saturated fat into our milk and cholesterol into our eggs and into our milk to kill us. He did not give us this food to try to kill us. He created us, He created this planet, and He's not going to give us things that are going to kill us. It's what man is doing to food that is causing all these different cancers and illnesses and heart disease and all these different things. I mean, look back into, how we've come along basically. I mean, we've been eating meats and fats and proteins and all these different things for thousands of years, and up until recently, we haven't had, the cancers or the heart diseases and all these different things. So everyone's got us convinced basically that the cholesterol from our diets is going to affect the cholesterol in our bodies, which is not the case at all. So needless to say, of course, I'll be making a video talking about some of the different misconceptions with cholesterol and all those different things. So some different options for consuming raw eggs. You can alternate days. One day you can do the yolk, and then the next day you can do the whites. And I'm not a big fan of wasting food, so if you live with somebody, get on like an alternate schedule type thing. One of you do the yolks and the other one do the white, and then just switch every day, or 2 yolks, 3 yolks, whatever. If you don't live with someone, what you can do is just consume the raw yolks every single day and then cook the whites. And when you cook them at 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, it destroys or breaks down the avidin that is in the whites that binds to the biotin, which causes the deficiency. It breaks that down when you cook it, and now you can consume them both safely. Another thing you can do is you can do like the whole raw eggs. You can do them every other day, because I've read a lot of places where if you eat the same foods every day, you can actually develop food allergies and stuff like that. And if you absolutely cannot handle raw eggs, make yourself a nice little fruit smoothie. Antonio from healthyurbankitchen.com, he's got a new cookbook with a lot of great recipes. Not just smoothies, but everything. And what you guys want to do is when you make your smoothies, blend everything together and then drop the eggs in there at the very end, and maybe blend it at the most for 3 seconds. And if you don't already consume eggs or raw eggs on a regular basis, start out slowly. Maybe start out with 1 egg, whether you do it every other day or you do the whites one day and the yolks the next day. Start out with 1 and then just slowly move your way up, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to get to. I know people that consume upwards of around 40 raw eggs a week, no problem, very healthy people. I'll be posting a link in the box so you guys can know how to check for the freshness of the eggs and stuff like that. And also, if you're already allergic to eggs, it might only be cooked eggs. Just like people that are lactose intolerant, they can't consume pasteurized milk, but they can consume raw milk. Because again, it's the heat that alters some of the enzymes and stuff like that. And in a later video, I'll be talking about that one. But give it a try, or talk to your doctor, do something. I don't want to be liable for it. So find out what your case might be in that instance, and then you also too will be able to enjoy the inexpensive, high-quality fats and proteins and nutrients and stuff like that. So subscribe to these videos. I don't want you guys missing any. You don't have to watch every video, but as a topic comes up that might directly relate to you or someone in your family or a friend or something like that, maybe watch that one. But there's plenty of good topics coming up shortly. I'm going to be talking about soy and vegetarians and vegans and some of the different things with that. So again, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will be back soon. Take care.